Welcome to the Artefacto YouTube channel. Today, we're thrilled to present a masterclass by one of the world's most gifted watercolor artists. Please welcome Irina Kukrusova.
You can take orange plus blue and you will have some gray color. And I will put it just on his head to show his eyebrow like that, and some of that on his face. But you see that the surface is a little bit dry, and I put some water on my brush and try to make it like it's a hair. And near with his eye, I just put that color to different sides using my brush. Near with his nose, we should put more warm color, that is why in this mixture I will take more orange. And here I just put it like that. I gave possibility to colors mixing, and here on his eyebrow, and that part it's a little bit round, and here maybe different blue, for example, and more blue to that part, and line should be it's a hair, and we put that color just near to his eyes, and clean water to the sharp edges. And his nose, you can see that that part, he has black skin, and that is why I will take the same mixture of blue and it's burnt sienna. In my palette, it's Van Dyke by 4, but I always explain that it's burnt sienna because in other brands that color not so good. And some dark with soft edges to that part, and some small spot on his face, and more blue color, more blue, and we will put it to his nose like that, and all nose we can cover it with blue, make the connection with some blue on his jaw. And of course, bright blue, I will use that Turkish, cobalt Turkish blue. I love that color so much to his eye. First, we put some lights on your paper, and after that, we increase the darkness. And of course, the edges of your brush stroke should be very soft. Soft, maybe more blue, like I have, it's blue-gray Mijello, or you can use different blues. It will look more beautiful if you will choose some 2 or maybe 3 blues. And brown color, it's burnt sienna. I will cover his eye inside. I have a lot of water inside the paper, but as I put paper towel, I collect some water from the surface, and it helped me to make all lines control. Yeah, like that. You should always think about the form of every line. And now we can take with you more dark color.
I hope you're enjoying this watercolor lesson. On our channel, we always share watercolor lessons from the world's top artists. And today, we have something special for you. Follow the link in the video description and sign up for a free online masterclass with another global watercolor star.
I will take oxide black. I use it for darkness, with indent blue, with burnt sienna. And now we can put dark part of his face, the middle part of his face. And I try to be very well in near with his eyes. Here it's practically no light on his eyelid. Here it's differences, and the middle of his eye should be darker. And here also I just make it using my brush. I move the color and try to be perfect in creating lines. It's his eyelid here, it's blue and smaller a little bit, and that part is so bright, and here dark part. And after that I will take brush and make it like that to create the texture of hair. I need more water because the bright light make it dry too fast. Yeah. And now we can put a dark color with more blues. And here to create the texture of her. And more darkness to the middle of his eye. And here again. And you should think about the form of that line. So controlled brush stroke we should create, and the texture fur, you should make that a long brush stroke. And here's some sharp edges. Yeah, it's perfect. More dark color, it's oxide black. I love really that color. It's so good in mixing and also give me some granulation. And more darkness here. This form, I should take more blue because it's a little bit brownish in color. It's not so good for us. And I just need to put a little bit water just to create the connection. And here, and near with his eye, and that part of his head. I just put more water. On the middle part. More blue in that part because the dark hair always have blue lights. And here I try to save every white part. Yeah, now it looks like a raccoon, and sometimes people ask me, have you ever painted that breed? I say no, but I painted, for example, 20 beagles, and all of them are different. And it means that if you don't know, if you never paint some animals, it means that if you have quite good knowledge and good technique, you will paint everything. Of course, we have different tasks, for example, how to create the person and the background or landscape near with him or with it, how to make that connection of different colors, like here, because that raccoon has quite bright hairs and also so dark hair. And I try to put his pupil here.
We got a couple of technical questions. One
Okay.
was, are you painting on an angle or not?
No, I when I'm painting by myself, I always make some angle and sit on the chair sometimes, because when I create something big, it can take me, for example, 4 hours, and my body will practically die. I will die if I will always stays in that strange position. But when I'm making lessons, I always make it without any angle, because it's very important to see everything without in straight view. I think it's correct explanation. Yes.
Thank you. And the other question that we received was, what is the brand of your brush, and is it synthetic? Is it natural hair? Is it important that it is a little bit stiff or soft?
I use brushes with synthetic hair always, because they are quite well in quality, and I also use different brushes. They should have quite short hair with that very sharp that part. They can be different, but that brush is quite okay. But because it's synthetic, they become short. I don't know how to say it, because I'm painting too much, and they die in my head, in my hand, because I'm painting too much, and that is why I just buy a lot of them. They are quite cheap and comfortable in my work. Yeah, now it looks like not like a Spitz. I think. And I need some blue color to that eyelid. Some blue to that part. I try to look on the form of his eye, and every time the eye have the form of sphere, and that is why you have in that part light and some reflection in that part, and that is why I think about it and create that texture. And I want to put some water here. I use the same brush. I not put it to the water and after that on my paper. I just make it using that small part, like you pat a cat. And some dark on his nose. Here he has some lights, and here's some darkness. And here also. Now it will look very, very beautiful. I think when you love something, you will do it with all your heart, and the result will be great. Of course, in watercolor, you need some practice, because it's just a technique. First of all, you should choose the same paper for every artwork, just to understand how to work with that paper. And after that, when you will have good technique, you will have possibility to change it, and some darkness to that part, and maybe more darkness to nostrils. Yeah, that and that part. La la la.
At this stage, Ira, we have received a couple of questions about the humidity. So one person asked, is it still wet or at least humid? It must be, because it's still soft edges, and we saw that you gently patted some extra water. We also got a question from Joy, can I re-wet the paper? My arch or my arches is dry. So if someone is painting now and their paper isn't humid, what should they do?
You can stop, and when your paper will become dry on the surface, you will put some water, and will have possibility to paint again. Oh, I'm very sorry, so important word. And I will show it for you. For example, now I can stop. Just need to put some details to that light, like it's his lashes. And you can stop for that part. And when your paper will become dry, you will continue. But I want to put some dark to that part, okay? And after that, we will stop. The surface will dry. We also will put some water, and I will show you how to do it correct. And we will continue with you in quite comfortable way, because when I'm painting something big, you understand that it can take me sometimes a week with a lot of work for maybe in general 10 or more hours. And that is why I make some stops in my work and some dark to that part. Here he has some light in his colors. Try to do it like that. And just to put some tone, it will help us to create his jaw, like that. The form should be correct, of course. And if you have sharp edges, I always use that brush, that form of brush, to do it like that. And it will help you to make all that lines very soft in connection. And now we can take a little bit bigger brush, because when you paint eyes, it means that you just can put some color here, and your work will be finished. I will take a little bit more cold color, like Turkish blue. I put color here just to find out how much water I have on the surface. Yeah, and his eye is so blue in color. I can take more Turkish blue with some oxide black. Yeah. I just cover the whole ear. Soft edge. And in the center, more, he has more warm color. And I will take my Van Dyke. I always say that, that it's burnt sienna. And the connection here, I have the hole, but I will cover it with more watercolor. It will be quite okay. First, I need the connection. I will use that brush to create the texture of hair. And now you can see that here we have some blue colors and here some warm color. And now we should take a little bit dark color. It's oxide black just for darkness. You can use sepia for that. And Indian trend blue. And I always use colors from brush, from tubes, not from palette, just from tubes. And inside more darkness, and you can create a brush stroke like that, like it's hair, and to increase the darkness in that part, and some small hair here and dark color. Think about form of his dark hair here, and some of them. And the softness. I always use the brush. I have a lot of them, and when it becomes dirty, I take a new one and put, and it helped me to create the texture of fur. And I always mix oxide black with indent blue with a little bit warm color, and I increase the darkness here. I need a little bit smaller brush. It's quite small here. I will take one. Yeah, I think it's quite cute already. And here he has differences in form. Try not to make it like it's a hat. That is why I will take that brush. I just increase the darkness step by step. And more dark color, a little bit here and a little bit here. And inside the ear, with some blue, I will take that. Yeah, and more dark color. I just take the same colors, but with more dry brush. And I put it to the center, a little bit here, a small that brush stroke to that part. And here, and we just need to put some color to create his body. Too much water. For example, if you make the same as me, you just need more color. I will take a little bit Turkish blue and maybe with some gray blue, just to create that soft texture of his fur with more and the connection with so long brush stroke. It's the light of his body, and here also the light of his body. And after that, we should take more color on your brush. And I never use black color in the middle of my work because every black color will change all your layers. And I will do it like that. I put too much water on my paper, but I will save everything with my brush. And here's some dark part of his body, like that. And now I have not very soft layer, and that is why I, as I already told you, I always use that brushes. I do it like that, like it's a hair. Try to create that texture. I change the surface, try to make it very soft, and from that part it will look like it's really hair. Yeah, now it's soft and so okay, vibrant in colors, and after that we just increase the darkness here and here. I think it's really so beautiful picture. And here's some darkness. And I should say that when you use any watercolor with granulation, all layers will look quite dark, but when you put it on very wet surface, it will have not so soft edges, and it will not so dark in color as you try to do it, because it's granulation watercolor. And I increase the quantity of his hairs like that with so long brush stroke. And again, I use that brush. It's another one, but with the same result. Try to make it quite soft. And we need to put some background. It will be very nice. And I have here not so soft edges. I just need that flat brush. I always use flat brush and always use that brush. You can tone down some lines just to create the texture of hair, like that. Try to do it on soft surface with some water. And we need some background. When you create the background, I advise you to put more water. more water, and we need background in this case because you can see lights around his ears, and for creating background you need quite big brush, and when you need some green colors I just put some yellow to black. It's the best green color, and maybe a little bit red to that surface. And first of all, we try that color. It's a little bit yellow. It's not a problem. I always try mix color because it's the main thing in watercolor, that vibrant colors. And as I put it on very wet surface, it will be very soft when it will dry. And a little bit more blue to that mix. I had one green color, it's sub green, but I use it not so often, and that is why I always mix every green color. And in that part we should put more dark tone just to create that light. And it's not a problem that I have some line of my pencil. I will clean it when it will become dry. And more black, it's black with more yellow and a little bit green, and more tone here. And some blue just to make it more interesting. And of course, when you have not so smooth surface, I just repeat that thing with my brush. It's more greenish. And for example, if you lose that bright lines, you can tone down it using your flat brush, like that. And here's some hair. I just use clean brush. Like that. And some hairs to make it so fluffy. And of course, you need to put paper towel again and again. And I should say that I always dry them. When they become dry with artwork, I use them again. like that. And you can see that the water goes from that part, and that is why if you not put any paper under your work, you will have some problems. The surface will be not so smooth. And I will draw him some whiskers, just we need to wait when it becomes dry. Absolutely, it's very important. More hair. I think it's so watercolor. Of course, when I paint something by myself or when it's lessons, I always make it from different parts. I never make it for one time. For example, like today we did it. Because when we speak about realistic watercolor, it means that you need sometimes, and I don't want to be so fast and think that I need to put tone here and some color here. I think it's not so good. Yeah. I have some small dirty ink on his nose. Oh, now it's okay. I will show you a little bit how to create whiskers. Here he has some dark whiskers, and also that that part of his face already dry. It will be quite okay. And when all picture will become dry, you can paint white whiskers. I use for that titanium white watercolor. It can be a little bit greenish, and that is why I should mix the color. I use that long brush line, yeah, like that. I try to start from dark part, because when you put your brush, it means that you will have a small spot. Some of them, some texture of hair, maybe a little bit. And I can give you one advice: please not use titanium white to create texture fur, because your work will become like sketch, look like sketch, not like painting. Some small hair. I love small details. I think you understand it. Very soft connection and small details. It's so perfect. Some small line here. Also, I have that brush. I don't know how to explain it, because that brush have hair of too long, and it helped me to create that live lines. I want to create the form of that colors, because it's not so straight in line. He has somewhere small changes in form, and here's some dark. And when we will put whiskers here, it will be really good. And his nose in that part has some form like that. I just put 2 lines to explain to the viewer that here he has some differences in the form of his nose, and maybe some dark color here, and just that jaw. Now I think it's so good.